American troops left. Our chief foreign correspondent, Ian, the U.S. strike that took out the head of al-Qaeda. Our team now inside Afghanistan with a look at how it went down and what life there is like 1 year after American troops left. Our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, is in Kabul with this story. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Cecilia, from a city that's still reeling from that US drone strike on the world's most wanted terrorist. Remember, Ayman al-Zawahiri, the head of al-Qaeda, he helped plan the 9/11 attacks. He was tracked to a safe house here in Kabul. President Biden giving the orders to, quote, go get him. But it's also raising fears that Afghanistan could be a safe haven for terrorists once more. Remember, it's now almost a year since US troops withdrew.
On one level, the city looks very similar. You see chaotic scenes behind me, but also the people driving the pickup trucks, the people carrying some American-made weapons. These guys here are the Taliban. There's open warfare between ISIS and the Taliban, and this new Afghanistan's become a land of broken promises.
Girls unable to finish high school, women forced to wear the veil, and over 90% of the population
now effectively denied regular access to food. We've been seeing young babies, many of them malnourished this morning. The scenes are absolutely heartbreaking.
कर्नाटक में उनकी सरकार थी, रातों रात कर्नाटक के सारे मुसलमान को बैकवर्ड बना दिया। ना बैकवर्डनेस का सर्वे हुआ, ना कोई कमीशन बना।
Walk us through this situation. Gabriella.
David, this all happened in the middle of the night here at the Millvale baseball fields behind me. You can see there's a sign that says no parking and that it closes at sunset. However, this is where detectives say they found the woman they were arresting. Her arrest is raising questions, according to sources from law enforcement all across the county, wondering if a taser was really necessary during her arrest.
The arrest of Elizabeth Valakovich has law enforcement experts divided on whether there was an excessive use of force to get her under control, after police say she was drinking at 2 bars in Millvale and even pulled a gun out of her purse and activated the light and laser while inside one of them. Police tracked her down at the Millvale ball field, where a Reserve Township police officer tased her. While her legs were shackled, she was handcuffed and halfway in a police car. According to detectives, Valakovich became violent and started yelling racial and homophobic slurs at police, then punched, kicked, and spit on officers. Despite being restrained, investigators say Valakovich was able to kick an officer in the back of the head. That's when the Reserve Township officer tased her.
She was still assaulting the officers, even though she was handcuffed and shackled. While she was temporarily restrained by those devices, she was still not in control. She was out of control, assaulting officers.
David Wright is a former Pittsburgh police officer who still specializes in use of force. Based on how Valakovich was acting, he says the taser was likely the best option.
The taser is generally seen as a safer device to things like this or the baton. Based on the information that I've read so far, this was a reasonable response to a violent subject.
But the head of the city of Pittsburgh's Citizen Police Review Board, Beth Pittenger, disagreed. While she acknowledges Vlahovich's alleged violent behavior, she's questioning the officer's use of force.
She was isolated in the back of a vehicle. She was fully physically restrained, and I would question the use of taser. It would not seem to be an appropriate use of taser at that point.
Even more concerning to Pittenger is the fact that EMS crews then used a sedative to get her under control.
Outside of a medical environment, under the eyes of a physician, to use a drug to gain control of an individual, whoa, that's frightening.
I did speak to the Reserve Township Police Chief today. He told me that his officer acted in accordance with the law and in accordance of the department's use of force policy.
I've also confirmed that the district attorney's office is looking into this arrest and they're coordinating a review. Reporting live from Millvale, Gabriella DeLuca, Channel 11 News.